Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is my very first video on YouTube. I have never made one before. Actually, that's not true. Embarrassing fact, way back when I used to have a Pokemon opening channel. So if you're still here from that time, I apologize. It is no longer a Pokemon YouTube. But it's now just going to be a random whatever I want kind of a YouTube. So, if you want to stick around for that, you are welcome to. I encourage you to, of course, but who knows, maybe I'll have some Pokemon here and there. However, today is not a Pokemon video. Today I'm going to be making a beauty favorites video. So I am a huge makeup fan. I am addicted. I absolutely love makeup. So I figured why not have that be my first video, is just a welcome to me. These are my favorite beauty products. So with that being said, I figured we'll just jump right in. So I'm gonna kind of go through like a whole face of makeup, what my favorites are. I'll go pretty quick because I don't have too much to say on each of them. But first up, we'll talk about primer. So I have two primers that I love, that I wear every single day. Usually the first one on my list is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So this stuff is amazing. I started off with a sample of it from Sephora and loved it so much I bought the bigger version. The reason I love it so much is it just really, like, it calls itself a grip primer, but it really does grip. Like, my makeup gets sucked on, stuck on. It is not going anywhere, and I just think that that's amazing. I have never had makeup stay on like I have when I use this one, so it's been phenomenal. For foundations, I didn't even show you my second primer. My second primer is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I'd like this primer. It's really silicone-y. It fills your pores pretty well. It does help makeup stay on. I just don't really use it as much now that I have my Hydro Grip Primer. Going into foundation, I have a high-end recommendation and a drugstore recommendation. I started off my makeup journey with drugstore, so I just love drugstore makeup, so we'll start there. It is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I wear this in the shade 400 Pearl, and this is it here. I just love this. I just love this foundation. I wouldn't call it a 24-hour wear foundation, but my favorite YouTuber, Tati Westbrook, got me onto this, and I'm just absolutely addicted to it. It stays on very long. One thing I will warn you about is it does move around a lot if you don't set it very well. So set it really well, put on your best powder for it, and you'll have luck. The next one I really love is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I wear this in 1C1 Cool Bone. It's a little too pink for me, but I just bake around the jawline and really work it down when I apply it, and I don't have any issues with it as long as that's what I do. So I just absolutely love this. This stuff stays on forever. I don't know how long it claims to stay on for, but it stays on all day. I work a job where I am customer facing for 8 hours a day. So when I put my makeup on, I need it to last more than 8 hours a day because I'm at work for 8 hours, but I have the rest of my life afterwards. I'm going to dinner with family and friends, and maybe I want to go out and have a drink, you know, stuff like that. And I need my makeup to stay on for that. Like, I need it all day. And this stuff does that. This stuff stays forever. So this is my recommendation. This is my ride or die. I've never been able to find a foundation that does what this one does. Next, concealer. My favorite concealer actually matches the foundation. It is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Full Wear More Than Concealer. Right now I'm wearing it in 340 Fawn, which is a little bit pinkier than I want it to be, or that it normally is for me. But still good. I still love it, so I kind of go with that one. Next would be powders, and again I have two recommendations for powders. I have a high-end and I have a drugstore. So again, we'll start with drugstore because you know that that is my favorite. So my favorite drugstore setting powder is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I wear it in the shade 5 Fair. This is what it looks like. I love this setting powder. This is the first loose powder I ever used. Before I used the pressed version, and I wore it all over my face in translucent. That's how pale I am. But anyways, so I switched over to the loose powder, I don't know, probably a year and a half ago, and I love it. I just think it's fantastic. I think it sets super well. It mattifies but does not give the appearance of dryness. I think that this is just fantastic. My high-end is everyone's high-end, so it's the Laura Mercier in translucent. I don't think that there's much for me to say about it. Everybody loves this stuff. Easy. Let's go into blush. I only use one blush on the daily, and it's a drugstore blush. So it's the Milani Baked Blush. Mine is used and abused in the shade Luminoso. So it's this sort of peachy, shiny color. I'm obsessed with it. It reminds me a lot of NARS Orgasm, but I actually don't like NARS Orgasm, so. Okay, next is bronzers. My favorite bronzer right now is out of the Tarteist Pro Glow palette. So mine is a little bit dirty. Nope, not coming off. So mine's a little bit dirty, but that is it. This comes with a lot of highlighters. It comes with a cream contour, and it comes with a powder bronzer. If you're pale like me, the powder bronzer looks really light. Doesn't really look like it does anything, but it does pack a punch. It's what I'm wearing right now. So keep that in mind. It's absolutely fantastic. The other bronzer I use is actually part of the Too Faced holiday collection. So it comes with like these 3 triangles, and it has one triangle that has all 3. So a bronzer, a highlight, and a blush. I hate the highlight and the blush. Actually, I don't hate the highlight, but it's just not the best highlight. The blush I actually hate, like for real, will never put on my face again. But the bronzer is really nice. It looks like it's gonna be too dark for somebody as pale as me, but honestly it's not. Like it's just not very pigmented, which for most people would be a bad thing. For me, a pale girl, it's a good thing. Excuse me. So those are the only 2 bronzers that I use. I use them on the regular. I really love them both. Next is highlight, and I have a lot of suggestions, so just bear with me. So one of my favorite highlights, I actually got in an Ipsy bag, so I don't even know that much about it. But it's this one here. It says Estate. There we go. On the front, it's in the shade Pearl, I believe. It says Do Me Pearl on the back, so maybe it's the shade Do Me. But it's just this pink, really beautiful highlight shade there. It's super pigmented. It really packs a punch, and you can see the lights reflect. It's just gorgeous. Also in my Tarteist Pro Glow palette, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 highlight shades, and Strobe is my favorite in this one. So there's Strobe there. Really nice. Looks really nice. And then last for my highlighter recommendations is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Pro Glow palette. So this is it here. I picked this up at Marshall's because Makeup Revolution isn't just around in Canada. I am Canadian. But this top shade here is usually my go-to. So those are my 3 recommendations for highlighters. Next, sorry, that was my dog leaving the room. Next we'll talk about eyeshadow primers. I only use one, which is the Urban Decay Eye Primer Potion. I also picked this up at Marshall's. That's the only reason why it's not the clear one. It's like a tinted one, because it was super cheap. Otherwise I just use the clear one. Okay, moving on to eyeshadows. So I'm a big eyeshadow fan. I have a couple that I really love. The main one that I'm loving right now, and actually that I'm wearing today, is the Natasha Denona Lila palette, which is this one here. It's a mini palette. It's just gorgeous. It has 5 shades. The pans are a little bit small. Like, you do get a little bit of hate for these ones because the pans are so small. Like, I can compare it to, let's compare it to a Tarte shadow. I was gonna compare it to Morphe, but that doesn't seem fair because their pans are just huge. But if you compare it to one of my other favorite palettes, yeah, they do look pretty small, but not so small that I think it's not fair. I think that the hate comes from it being $30 and only getting 5 shades and the pans are small, but you don't need to use much. These pack a punch, a mean punch, so you don't need to use much on your brush, so I think that they'll last pretty long. If you want to go cheap for palettes, the e.l.f. palettes that you can get, we'll start with Nude Mood. It's probably quite used. It's one of my favorites. So Nude Mood is one of the best nude eyeshadow palettes at the drugstore. Honestly, in general, it's all matte, all nude. They blend like a dream, stay on like a dream. And then there's a couple of other ones I just don't like as much, but like this one is beautiful. The rose gold one is beautiful. There's lots of beautiful ones there. Next, like I was showing you, is my Tarteist Pro palette. Mine's very dirty, mine's very used. I love this palette, I use it almost every day. But this is one of my all-time favorites. And 2 more eyeshadow palettes and I swear we're done with eyeshadow. The Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know what more I can say about this than anybody else on YouTube is saying, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It has so many of these beautiful shades in it. If you open it up, you can see them all. I love it. You can do almost any look that you want. My one complaint with this palette is it doesn't have a matte, just white sort of cream shade. I prefer to put a cream color or white color down before I start anything. And this does not have that, and that's kind of a bummer. Last palette I love is the Morphe 35F Fall into Frost palette. My one complaint, I do have a complaint with this, is that it's almost entirely shimmer. So you get one row, the very bottom row, of nude mattes, and then the rest are all shimmers. So if I want to add some purple, if I want to add some darker browns, a taupe shade, my only option is shimmers. So I'm not huge on that. I wish that there was a little bit more in terms of availability there. That pretty much covers it for eyeshadow for me. I don't use a lot of eyeliner. I'm really not a fan of eyeliner. I have very hooded eyes, very deep back, and I find even with eyeliner you can't really tell that there's much going on. So I don't even know if I have my favorite on hand, but I'll check for you. No, I don't even see it, but it is a NYX eyeliner. It is a NYX liquid eyeliner. I just don't have one on hand because I really never use it. If we're going into brows, it's another NYX product. So it is the NYX Professional Makeup Precision Brow Pencil. It has a spoolie on one end, which I think that you need when you're doing your brows. Brush it up, get the shape, brush it through so that it doesn't look so fake. I use this in the shade Taupe, so for redheads, the shade Taupe is pretty good. This is sort of the shape of it, if you can see there. So it's very thin, very pointed. I hate micro brow pencils. I think that they take too long to get as much pigment as a larger product would, so that's why I love this one. Next, if we go into mascara, I have a lot of mascaras that I tend to love. I'll show you 2 drugstore, 1 high-end. So I only have the sample size of the high-end, but the IT Cosmetics Superhero, like I said, I only have the sample size. This one is fantastic. The brush is really long on the sample size, which I think is fantastic, or the wand rather. I think it's fantastic how long it is, and I just think it really does a great job at lengthening everything. You don't have to worry about length with this. It adds some volume, and it separates them pretty well. My next 2 are drugstore. So the I have a CoverGirl and a Maybelline. The Maybelline is the Colossal Volume Express. This is the one I'm wearing today. It has a huge wand, which is honestly what I prefer. is a much larger wand. This one is huge. I use it in just the shade Black, I think is what it's called. I love this. It only takes 1, maybe 2 coats to get my lashes really where I want them. I don't wear falsies. Again, my eyes are so hooded. I think that they just kind of look weird on me. But because of that, I need my mascara to really add something for me, because I'm not putting the falsies on over top if it doesn't do enough for me. So that's one of the reasons I love this so much, is because honestly I feel like it does do that for me. And then my last mascara is the CoverGirl Lash Blast. Again, like I already said, I love a big wand. My issue with this one over the Maybelline is that the Maybelline does not flake ever. I do find that sometimes the Lash Blast will flake, and if I'm in really humid or really rainy weather, I will notice it come down here and sort of transfer onto the skin, which I just can't stand. Last thing will be lips. So I have 2 lipsticks that I wear almost every day, and a lip stain for me to recommend to you. So first is the Makeup Revolution, it's just a liquid lip, and it doesn't say the shade on it. I think it was something like Peach Charming. Yeah, Peach Charming. And it's just like a nude pink. So pretty. Is that what I'm wearing today? That's what I'm wearing today. And I'm wearing it on top of actually the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Nudist Peach, 921B Nudist Peach. And this is a very similar color, but I think it's a little bit, ooh, that did not swatch well. There we go. A little bit more peachy than the Peach Charming is. So they both have it in the name. Last but certainly not least, I've tried this in other colors. I can only have a trial size right now. I've used this in other colors and honestly love it, but the red is my favorite. And that is the Sephora brand lip stain. And I don't even know the shade because it's a trial size. But this is their cream lip stain. No shade color. In whatever version of red this is. It comes in the little like holiday set with 4 on there. Ugh, I love it. It stays on all day. I ate salmon with oiled up veggies and rice. And that was the only time I had to touch up throughout the whole night. And I had it on for hours and hours and hours at my work Christmas party. And I got endless compliments on my lip color that night. Endless compliments on how well it was wearing. So this is such a winner. I can't even explain it. I love it. I need more shades in it. I would wear it every day. Last is setting spray. I have 2 setting sprays I really love, both in sample sizes. Clearly I'm a cheap girl, okay? I keep buying sample sizes. I need to just buy the full sizes. That's probably gonna save me more money, but I don't. So everybody, every beauty girl, every beauty guy, person loves MAC Fix Plus. I just think that it sets the face so nicely, and the mist on it is so even. The mist on it is the best mister I've ever used. And then last is the Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. Again, I only have this in a trial size. I think this is just one of the many I got for Christmas. I'm trying to get through them. But this one's great. I also especially love this one for wetting a brush to foil a shadow, to lay it down, that sort of thing. A couple of more things and then I'm gonna kind of wrap it up here. My favorite Beauty Blender substitute, because I don't actually like the original Beauty Blender, I think it's a little too soft, is the, ooh, mine's really dirty, so please forgive me, the Real Techniques blending sponge. So it has like this flat side here that I think is great for applying to places like this if you want to bake, down here if you want to bake, that sort of thing. And then the 2 flat edges I use to put it under here to blend all over. I love this. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'll probably never buy another substitute. Okay, I think that that's everything. Honestly, I don't think I have anything else I really want to add here in front of me. That's pretty much it. So I hope you really enjoyed my first video. I hope that I can get more stuff out to you guys that you like. I hope that you enjoy me and you want to see more of me, I'll be here as often as I can. So if you did like this video, if you did like me, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, say something nice, whatever it is you want to do before you go, please do that. I appreciate any love, I appreciate any feedback, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!